I'm here out in front of Gundam Factory. Gundam Factory closing in 3 days. It's kind of the middle of a monsoon right now. Major downpour. I am just got out soaked to the bone.
Beautiful shot of the Yokohama skyline. You can see the weather's keeping a lot of people away, which works out well for me because the next 2 days are completely sold out. Here is the nearly 60-foot tall Gundam. This exhibit was actually supposed to close down in March of last year, so pretty lucky not only getting it in like the last 3 days, but getting it in at all. Here's some other people braving the conditions like me. This isn't actually just the giant Gundam. They actually have a museum and a shop, and you can see some Gunpla and some pop-ups of the last Gundam series. But here's where we're at. See the giant moving Gundam. First we see the little platforms move away. You can actually watch it from like that top platform up on the right. But that was completely sold out within like 10 minutes of it going on sale about a month ago. You can also see the rain coming down pretty heavy. This is actually like pretty epic to watch in person. The video doesn't do it justice with just how like huge and like close you kind of are.
Pretty lucky to have seen it because they were giving just tons of warnings like, hey, high winds, the Gundam might not move.
But it did, so thank you, Gundam. And moving on. And those trains led me here to Tama Center Station, which is covered in Hello Kitty and other Sanrio characters. The reason for that is that it's right by the Sanrio Pro Land, basically the Hello Kitty Disneyland. That's my favorite parts, just in the center of the station, just really cool like ceiling artwork. I didn't go to Sanrio Pro Land, instead I went here. This is Jomon Village at the Tokyo Archaeological Museum. The Jomon were the ancient people of Japan. They built these houses out of mud and this kind of thatched roofing. Obviously not these were built on like the ruins of where sites were. Also oddly, I only kind of know about the Jomon from when they dug up Jomon ruins in the Eurocamp movie.
Also, I always thought it was like a plot thing in anime where there's like, oh, there's a typhoon in the morning, and then they come back together for school in the afternoon. I always thought that was made up. It is like bright and sunny now, which is kind of wild.
This is the Japan Polar Science Museum. They visit this in the anime, A Place Further Than the Universe. I actually watched that on the plane coming over here. The anime is about a group of girls going to Antarctica. That's why they wanted to come to this museum, which talks about, exploring Antarctica. Also, this museum's only in Japanese. But it was super interesting. Big focus on Chuo Station. They have this diagram here, but one cool thing they have is like a live feed of the station playing in the museum. They also have like a mock-up room. They have this diagram of Antarctica that also shows just the regular land underneath the ice. They have this polar cat that actually went on expeditions to both Antarctica and the Arctic. Speaking of cats, this is the snow cat. This is the vehicle they use to get around in Arctic areas. As the treads, this is what they use to cross Antarctica in. You can get like a brief look inside. You can't go in it. I think you used to be able to before COVID, because they did in the anime. They also have a lot of taxidermy animals. Here are some seals, and there are various penguins and other kind of shorebirds. There's one. They also have this giant polar bear, which is like kind of terrifying in person, not just because that means snarl. I like the snow cat a little bit more. They also have this UFO for some reason. They say it's a weather balloon, but I don't believe them. My favorite thing they had was this planetarium show showing the Aurora Borealis, but you couldn't film it, so here's a screen showing it. They also had bronze statues of the snow dogs. I think they're mostly huskies, but I think they snuck a couple Shiba Inus and Akita dogs in there. The final part of my day was just traversing Tokyo during rush hour. Had to change stations at Shinjuku, had to go through Shibuya, which is just kind of crazy during rush hour. But it thinned out as it got closer to where I'm staying. So I got this cool train point of view angle for the last bit of my trip. This is where I'm staying, which is Tachigawa. It's a lot quieter than central Tokyo, but it still can get pretty busy out on the main streets.
And so that's day one. It's actually kind of funny. Like as I was planning out like days and what I was gonna do, I was wondering like, I wonder if the weather is gonna cooperate. If there's ever gonna be a day of like really bad weather, and actually, right off the bat, first morning, first day, terrible weather like a typhoon. It actually kind of worked out. Like seeing the Gundam in the rain was actually pretty cool, even though I got like soaked through the bone. There also wasn't a big crowd, which made it pretty awesome. And kind of got the best and worst of all kind of scenarios. Real an appetizer, an app sampler of Tokyo and Japan in this first day. So hopefully the rest of the trip is pretty good. Hopefully I don't get worn out. Hopefully I don't actually have trench foot, which kind of made me come home slightly early, but I hit most of the stuff that I wanted to hit today anyway. So hopefully editing goes well and this gets up, and see everybody tomorrow.